Today on Rappler, the ADB says recovery in Haiyan-hit areas is faster than it was in Aceh. A fresh PMA graduate dies fighting the Abu Sayyaf. And a 16-year-old boy gets 20 years for killing his teacher in class.
Hello, I'm Natasha Gutierrez. This is Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. The Asian Development Banker ADB says rehabilitation in Eastern Visayas is moving faster than it was in Aceh, Indonesia. Aceh was struck by an earthquake and tsunami in 2004, leaving over 120,000 dead. The ADB expects reconstruction in the Eastern Visayas to take 4 to 5 years. Some survivors say their new quarters are better than their old homes.
Super ganda para sa amin. Kasi yung dati naming bahay, barong-barong lang. Yung tagpi-tagpi. Yun lang ang dati naming bahay. Napakaganda nito kaysa kumpara sa amin dati.
Reconstruction efforts are expected to gain momentum in 2015. Watch Katerina Francisco's full report on Rappler. 22-year-old Second Lieutenant June Corpus died Sunday during a clash with the Abu Sayyaf in Basilan. Corpus graduated last March from the Philippine Military Academy. He was on his first assignment as a platoon leader. While patrolling, his platoon spotted high ground that could be used for attacks. But the Abu Sayyaf got there first and engaged them in gunfire. Corpus and his men were overwhelmed. Vice President Judge Binay's camp rejects Senator Antonio Trillanes' deadline for a debate challenge, calling it a bullying tactic. In October, Binay challenged Trillanes to a debate outside the Senate, where the senator would not be protected by parliamentary immunity. But in a radio interview Monday, Trillanes set a November 22 deadline on his debate with Binay. Binay's camp says by setting a deadline, Trillanes is laying the predicate for backing out of the debate. A 16-year-old schoolboy will be imprisoned for at least 20 years for killing his teachers in front of her class. Will Cornick was 15 when he stabbed his teacher Anne Maguire 7 times with a kitchen knife. His identity was initially kept secret due to a court order, but was lifted Monday. Global Press Freedom Watchdog Committee to Protect Journalists, or CPJ, says the conviction of radio journalist Jerry Ortega's gunman is a positive step towards fighting impunity. The CPJ says the Philippines was among countries that had rare convictions for the murder of journalists in 2013. The group calls it a partial victory for justice, but says more needs to be done to raise awareness on violence against journalists. For the full stories, click on the links on your screen. And for those of you watching on mobile, the links can be found on the titles on the article. You can also click on the tabs below to go to a story in the video. In other news, a British spy criticizes social media firms for being in denial over terrorist activity online. French scientists say HIV can be made inactive by modifying gene codes. A daredevil crossed the Chicago skyline on a tightrope suspended between 3 skyscrapers without a safety harness. Taylor Swift pulls out her songs from music streaming service Spotify, and award-winning actor Christian Bale also pulls out of a movie biopic of late Apple founder Steve Jobs. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Looking at the mood navigator, the dominant mood today, as can be seen from this story with the biggest circle for the 2nd day in a row, Aquino-hit's critical Binay says he's free to leave. Today, most people are still happy. That's the wrap for today, Tuesday, November 4, 2014. Visit Rappler.com for the latest news here and around the world. Check out our other shows, Tech Wrap and Talk Thursday. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Natasha Gutierrez. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.